Hello and welcome to Art with Mr. P. Now, week 1 we looked at drawing, week 2 we looked at painting with colour, and now we're in week 3, we're going to be looking at collage. I'm hoping those of you I know already will remember that collage comes from the French coller, to glue or stick. Collage is about sticking something onto a background so the background then looks different. Collage is about shape, colour and texture. Now remember, texture is about how things look, how they ought to feel. So texture can make things look smooth or rough even when they're not. Now this week we're going to be using collage, and we're going to create a brand new piece of artwork by sticking pieces of materials onto a background. Now a contextual link would be Eric Carle, who you'll probably know because of the Very Hungry Caterpillar. Now in preparation for this week you will need some scissors, something to draw shapes with, something to stick your materials down. I've got a glue stick. You will need some materials. I found some old magazines, a beautiful stripy bag, and bits and pieces at the bottom of a very deep and dark drawer, bits of envelope, and even some bits of painting that are left over from last week. Let's do some collage. So in primary 2, I would like you to collage a figure. It may be that it's a good idea to map it out to start off with. So we're going to be thinking about the head. Now I'm going to demonstrate a robot, but you can create any figure you like. It could be a person, it could be someone you know, or it could be a superhero, or just someone you've seen. Yeah. So generally speaking, now I'm thinking about robots. I'm thinking about the sorts of shapes that we've been learning about in numeracy, 2D shapes. Yeah. So I think about squares and rectangles. I think about, what shape is that? Yep, triangles. And I think about this shape. Well, it's not a very good one, but it's almost a circle, isn't it? Yeah. And then because I'm doing a robot, I think I'm going to have great big clunky feet. Something like that, or one bigger than the other, but never mind. Yeah, then we've got semicircles. And more rectangles, I think, for the arms. I think robot's a good one, yeah, because you can think about the shapes that you've learnt about in numeracy, of course. Something like that. So I'm just mapping out the vague shapes. I might not use these in the ends, of course. Okay, there's my vague plan for robot. Right, so what I'm going to do is get my materials I'm going to cut up together. And I'm going to place some of the materials next to my plan, so I get a vague idea of the shape of it. Yeah. So I think the head, the background part of the head, will be that kind of size. Yeah. So I'm going to carefully cut that out. So I made it quite plain, this blue background, although there is a swallow on it. But there we are. It's quite nice, isn't it? And that bit can go in there, maybe that way up. Okay, so that's the head. Now I need to decorate the head a bit. So I think I'm going to start off with a green bit of mouth. Now draw this first if you need to. So remember, start off with the biggest background shape and then add the smaller shapes to it. Yeah? I think I'd like a bit of red in here. Yeah? So I'm going to take this stamp and I'll make this stamp into the eyes. Actually, I could use the edge to put that in the mouth because it looks a little bit like teeth, doesn't it? Yeah? Not the robots probably have teeth, but this one does. Now I'll put that in there. But I'll use the red for the eyes. So I need a circle and a rectangle, I think. So this is going to be quite fiddly and you might need some help, yeah? But as long as you get the idea that collage is about cutting and sticking mostly, then I think you're okay, yeah? And the other eye is going to be first on this piece of stamp. First them out. Okay, so I've got most of the head there. Okay, so I keep going, building up the different shapes. So there we have basic robot collaged, but don't stop there. Keep going, keep adding buttons, keep adding lights, make the shoes more interesting. What can we do about the legs? Think about the shapes, think about the colours, think about the interesting textures. See how the texture on the blue is different from the texture on the red and white. And there you have a collaged robot. So this week we've been exploring collage. Collage is about cutting or tearing, folding, and then sticking that material onto a background so that we create a completely new look. You've created a figure using collage, and you've probably worked out you couldn't have produced that figure in any other way. So collage is all about shape, colour and texture. And remember, texture is about how things look, how they feel. So they might actually be smooth, but they might look rough. Next week we'll be looking at printmaking. It might be a good idea to collect a few bottle tops, corks, and other small things that actually you might just throw away that we can then use to print with. So this week's been collage, next week printmaking. Well done.